Reporting live from Melbourne, Australia, and where are you?
Reporting live from Hanoi, Vietnam.
Because we're bringing two countries together to unpack Wicked for good. We're going straight in. Because we have to.
We must launch straight in. It is hilarious to me that I'm in this beautiful multicultural city far away from home. I have 3 nights here and one night I went, I just reckon I've got to go to the cinema and see Wicked for good.
I do have to know what kind of cinema you went to. I need what was your experience of the film based on cinema? Tell me.
No, thank you so much for asking. It was like ultra gold class in Vietnam.
Oh
so
my
of course
God,
it
work.
cost like 15 Australian dollars or something ridiculous. We had like a bed. It was like a bed and I could lie on my tummy as the good Lord intended. You know how much I love to lie on my tum?
That's insane.
I lay
so
on
those
my
are good
tum.
parameters. That's good parameters for the rats to know.
Great parameters.
Because it could be boosting your review based on the bed alone.
No,
I went to
you're so right
FOMO
for that.
cinemas in Brunswick where you can get served a meal during the film. And to paint the context of how I'm leaning in, my parameters were FOMO, group of theatre mates that all saw Wicked Part 1 together. And it was packed with gorgeous 11-year-old girls with sparkly headbands and a few witches' hats that during the opening song got taken off by mum and dad because they were absolutely pointing in front of the screen. I was like, thank goodness starts.
Charlotte,
I'm like,
maybe not.
I'm like, I have an isosceles triangle right in front of my view of Ariana's strip lash. What's going on?
I also need to call out before we carry on any further. I do look naked in the YouTube video. I need you to know I'm wearing this top, but I'm going to look naked. So you're welcome.
That's so fine. Be naked. It's a raw unpacking.
Be naked.
Because we've got to be raw with it. It's
Now,
also
Sammy
worth the
and I-
rats knowing. Oh, no, sorry. You go, darling.
No, you go. I
was just going to say for
Carry
the
on.
rats. I was going to say for the rats, it's worth the rats knowing we have not spoken a single word about our review of Wicked.
100%.
So we might be coming in with different experiences.
Yep.
But I'm ready. I'm ready to go in. You lead the way, O'Brien.
Right. All I will say to begin is this. Oh my God, I'm so excited to talk about this. This is my favorite thing in the world. To unpack a movie musical with my best friend. Right.
100%.
I walked out and I went like this. I went, it was good. And that's it.
We have the exact same brain, and I am not just trying to match you here.
No, I know you wouldn't.
I literally filmed a TikTok about this today. I left Wicked for good, and I went, that's exactly how you tie up the Wicked bow. It couldn't have been any more than that. But I didn't leave going...
I think it could have been more, but it wasn't.
Sure. Maybe for me, and I want to unpack all of the parts of it.
Oh, we'll go details. Girl, I took notes. I knew this episode was coming and I sat in the cinema and I took notes.
As you should. I think, personally, there's half people love Wicked Act 1 more than Wicked Act 2. I think Act 2 is weaker.
Yes.
In songs. And I could tell that they were kind of racing to the finish line to jam a few more songs in there.
Yeah, totally.
Can I ask you, what did you think of Girl in the Bubble and There's No Place Like Home?
I was so underwhelmed by all of the added songs.
Same.
Both of them.
Same.
And I feel like we can jump around a bit and then we can kind of like go through like from the start. But to start with the added songs, and there's a few things at play as well. I think there's also something at play where you go, well, holy shit. Part 1 was so unbelievably fantastic.
Unbelievable.
How could it, was there an element of part 2 could have never amounted up? And I go, no, I think that's a cop-out. I think there was a world where this movie should have destroyed me.
Yes.
That's how I feel. And I didn't even cry, Sam.
Really?
I didn't even cry.
I cried in For Good because I thought of you.
Yeah, I was thinking of you so much and I was teetering. I was on the edge and I was watching and I was absolutely feeling things for sure. Like it was beautiful and fantastic, but it didn't even get me there. And I go, holy shit, I'm the target demo. I care about this movie. I have a female best friend. Like all of these things were like in line for me to have the time of my life and to like bawl my eyes out. And I didn't. And I think that says something. But these added songs, I have a theory. I think cause one thing that I will say is the character development that they did for Glinda, I think was spectacular.
Same,
I think
I
they
agree.
did a lot. They made a lot of little changes and added a bunch of little things. And I have so much to say about Ariana Grande's performance in this film. But overall, I was like, I do think her character development was spectacular and beyond what happens in the musical. I think they went, we want to write Girl in the Bubble.
Yep.
And then they went, oh, well, shit, we've probably got to do another one for Elphaba too then. And they went, what if it's... and we end up with No Place Like Home.
100%. Yes.
Unfortunately. Yep. Like, it felt like the most, like, to me, it felt like the most, like, last minute... What if she's rousing the animals? Sarah made a great point, which was she's rousing the animals to be like, no, like this place is so much more than this. And still at the end, they still decide to go. Like it doesn't actually, the song doesn't progress.
That's true.
The song doesn't progress the plot forward to the point where
it's just a filler song.
It's rousing and emotional and it makes the animals go, holy shit, you're right. There is no place like Oz. And so we're going to stay. It's like you have this song and they go, totally. Loved that, Cynthia. Bye.
Yeah. I feel like in Girl in the Bubble and There's No Place Like Home, I found myself watching it the way I would be watching something like Snow White or Wonka, and there's like an added song, and I was just like, it just didn't hit. And I go, there's the case in point of if you have terrific vocalists, you can make any song sound good. And I'm like, unfortunately, not even their skill set could like catapult those songs.
Girl
Do you
in
also
the Bubble,
feel... tell me.
I need you to be serious. You did not make the lyrics to that song and that this girl is waiting for that bubble to pop.
Yeah.
Rhyming with stop. I was like,
it's giving kids
what
film.
is going on? It was giving kids film and it wasn't the only part of that film that I felt leaned more towards being for kids than part one.
How do you feel about the erotica As Long As Your Mind's Sex Cardigan and all of that?
I actually thought As Long As Your Mind was lit.
I agree. For me...
I actually thought it was beautiful.
For me, it only clicked into gear once As Long As Your Mind started to happen. We went into No Good Deed and we went into For Good.
I couldn't agree more. I thought it took goodness to get going.
Thank goodness was a flop. It did not hit for me. And... thank goodness that has one of my favorite parts in the entire show, that there are bridges you cross you didn't even know you crossed until you crossed. And then I was listening and I went, hold on a minute. And I also think, sorry, we're jumping
Andrew,
around
I have a
lot.
PhD level analysis of this, so I can't wait to launch in, but you go first.
The orchestration was hardly there. And it was soft in the mix. And I know that every cinema is different. And I know that when we saw the premiere, the sound hit different to when we went to FOMO and we went, what's going on? And I walked
sound
into
is
FOMO
so
and
important.
went,
how many times can we say it? In the cinema, blast the sound. That's why we're at the cinema.
Sound. Blast the sound. Also because there was constantly kids getting up to go to the bathroom and I could just hear them shuffling around in their seed slippers. I was like, Jesus
Christ. In their isosceles triangles.
I know their isosceles triangle hats. It's insane. But thank goodness starts. And the part when it's like there are bridges you crossed and the orchestra is meant to go bum, 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 bum. And it's literally in the background with a few chimes. And I was like, wait a minute though, because you've shown us in part one that in like The Wizard and I and No One Mourns the Wicked, you've got drums going for the fucking high heavens. So why has it been pulled so back?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
I think there's a number of things that play with that. I think what they've done, and I thought it in For Good too, For Good almost felt to me like an entirely different song.
Yeah.
And the reason for that for me is because what they've done is they've gone, great, we're doing a movie. And the beauty of doing a movie of a musical is that you can pull that camera lens in to this close and it's this intimate and the thoughts and the facial expressions can be this small. But then I think what's happened is the vocals have matched that level of smallness.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with Thank Goodness. Yeah. And I think it happened in For Good as well, but I didn't mind it in For Good. I think it was earned in For Good and I thought it worked.
Because it was tender,
Yes, it's tender and it's soft, but thank goodness, I'm like, what makes that heartbreaking is you are... the reason that I know exactly what you're talking about. It was so small. It was like, there are bridges you cross, you didn't know you crossed. I'm like, no, I want like, there are bridges you cross.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, sing it out,
yes.
Louise.
Yes. absolutely agree.
Sing it out because you're standing on that podium.
Yep.
Singing those words to an audience of people below you.
Correct.
But what makes it heartbreaking is that we know those words aren't true, but we just saw the real version up close. And I was like, no, I think that was like not done well. Samantha Andrew, may I enter my PhD analysis of what happened with Thank Goodness? And I would say Ariana Grande kind of in general with this film for me.
Tell me.
We know that I was more on the side of, with part one, I went, holy shit, she was fantastic and I loved her more than I thought I was going to love her, but I still wasn't like, oh my God, that's the only person who could have played Glinda, right?
Yes.
But I was like, I walked out of part two going, I loved Ariana Grande so much more in part one.
Interesting,
than part two. And I will tell you why. In Thank Goodness, in particular, I went, you are singing this like a pop singer.
Yeah. She got popified.
And she went full Ariana Grande mode. And I was like, that's disappointing. And that's what, when this casting came out, people were like, MT, like hardcore girlies were like, I really hope, like, she's just going to sound like Ariana Grande. And I remember at the time being like, no, I think she really is going to like do the work and like she's going to bring out her theater girl. In Thank Goodness, she literally was like, there's a kind of a sort of cost. There's a couple of things get lost. And I was like, no, that's not
it's
what
not
we're
appropriate.
Doing. That's not what we're doing.
In For Good, when she does the big like because I knew you, I was like, so it's there. So why are you choosing? Like, I completely agree.
My biggest thing was enunciation. I'm like, oh, it's theatre. I need to understand the words you're saying.
Yeah, I completely agree. Did you feel as well in For Good? I found watching the two of them, I will admit the scene where the door closes and they're both on either side of the door, that did send me. That was probably the most like emotionally poignant moment for me in the film.
Did you know that it was improv?
No.
Oh,
I didn't know that. Girl. Oh, that's fantastic.
So apparently John Chu was like, we're going to close this door and then just do what you would do if that was the last time you're seeing your best friend. And that's what they did.
Well, that
I have goosebumps just even saying that now.
But then there was a few moments throughout, especially towards the end, when, you know, they had a few like teary moments and they're looking in each other's eyes. And I went, and here is an example, unfortunately, of when a constantly in-your-face press tour has negative consequences. Because for me, I'm watching this as someone who massively engages with nearly every video of Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo.
Totally.
I'm watching this going, damn, I'm watching Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande rap on a monumental film more than I'm watching Elphaba and Glinda have final moments together. And that's because there's just been too much PR for this film that I almost feel like they don't exist now as those characters. They've morphed. And with Glinda doing her beautiful kind of, I'm a baby, I'm walking on my tippy toes thing, she now kind of is half Glinda, half her. That bit hit poorly for me.
I wish for Ariana Grande to discover an iota of a sense of self outside of when she's doing a role or doing an album release. I think that's, you know how we talk about often like, and there are things that like I love about Ariana Grande, right? Like I'm the furthest thing from like a hater. I think
I know that.
She does like some really beautiful work and I love a lot of her music. But I think for a long time I've been like, what is it about her that I just can't connect to or like connect with? And I genuinely think it's that she doesn't know who she is. And I think I find that unsettling as a viewer when I'm like watching PR and stuff. I'm like, how can you... It's not normal to become a different person every time you're doing a new project.
Yeah, it's like true chameleon vibes.
Yeah,
I know.
like it's not, and I think I find it like a little bit unsettling.
I think that's fair. Can I say who I thought was actually fucking phenomenal in the film?
I bet you I agree, and I know what you're going to say. Go.
Ethan Slater.
Agree.
I thought he was giving music theatre trained. I'm a grunt this out, sing it out. He was terrific. And I thought Nessa Rose's acting was better in Act 2.
She was better than part one for sure. Do you know who else wait, hold on. Ethan Slater first. Ethan Slater is what happens when you put the MT people in a musical.
Bang, bang, bang.
And it's why Cynthia Erivo was unbelievable too. Like, it's just do that. Just do that. Like,
yeah, he was terrific.
Can I tell you, Sam, why did I have full-on goosebumps at the Tin Man reveal?
Oh, same.
When I have goosebumps just thinking about it now. Like, I feel like I didn't say at the start. There were things I loved about this film.
No,
I still had a great time. I was just a bit underwhelmed. Yeah, I did. Like, I loved a lot in it, but there were things that I didn't love. Tin Man reveal, I went, holy shit. I also think the Nessa Rose, the changes to Nessa Rose's arc to make it like less ableist. Love that they like didn't like to have the whole like all I've ever wanted was to walk and not be in a wheelchair. Like how much better would my life be? Like it was more about like that feeling of lightness of like the night of the Ozdust. Like I thought all of those changes were fantastic, and I thought all of the like, God, I felt for Ethan Slater. Like I was like.
Same.
Like when they were like the part of it, and I actually forgot that this was in the musical too. Like I leaned over to Sarah at one point and I was like, is that in the musical? The whole like Nessa like keeping him like as a prisoner and like not allowing Munchkins to leave Munchkinland.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. Insane. Then when it gets to the part where he's like the bit in the
I'll be heartless killing her.
Yeah.
That bit.
They're like a personal matter with the witch. I was like, I have goosebumps, King.
Well, talking on that, let's now go on the flip side and talk about Madame Morrible, because it's just truly unfortunate. I don't think we're adding anything new to the discourse, but let's go in. It's just really, really bad casting. She's a phenomenal actress.
She just wasn't right because she is spectacular.
She's just
everything
not right
else
for the
I've
role.
ever seen her in. Well, she just can't sing, can she?
No,
it's
she can't sing.
That.
But even some of her acting moments in For Good, I was going,
it's not like
what's
big enough.
going on? No, it's not big enough. It's not big enough.
Big enough, or like maybe that's an oversimplification. Maybe it's not about being big, but like, yeah, I was just like more menacing. Madame Morrible is literally like at the end when they like finally send her to jail. I'm like, you don't even look like you're hard to capture or like fighting back or anything like that. I was like, what's going on, girl? It does send me Sarah and I's new favourite vocal stim. Like some terrible green blizzard throughout the land she flies.
I was Have you seen her new Wicked Witch thing? The WW that she keeps doing. Everyone's like new stim attached. She keeps doing this thing where she's like, she goes like Wicked Witch with like 2 W's, and she's doing on every red carpet interview, and people are saying that it's the new there could be 100 people in the room, like Lady Gaga moment, because there's about 12 times that she keeps going Wicked Witch with the W, and I'm like, hell funny. Yeah.
I was also Sarah and I were losing our mind thinking about, because I fucking love the opening of the film there. Every day more wicked. Also loved how the film opened with the building of the Yellow Brick Road and the like abuse of the animals and like how like storytelling wise I was like so strong. I was so like in. But we were screaming at, can you imagine being an ensemble member brought on board to like be a vocalist for Wicked for Good Part 2, Wicked Part 2, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, there's a chance that I could get that lit line. It's literally Courtney Take a Break effect. Like some terrible green blizzard throughout the land she flies. Like it's such a like vocal fuck off like line, and then they've given it to Michelle Yeoh. Did you notice they also took away what Madame Morrible actually does in that song in the musical, which is like
what is it?
What does she do? What does she do? She does hold on. Oh, is it I should know this. I was in for Madame Morrible. Come on, Mel, lock in. It's the like then with a jealous squee, the Wicked Witch burst from concealment. Like all of that, like the day you were first summoned to an audience with Oz, and although we didn't tell you why initially, when you bowed before the throne, like it's a whole like vocal bit, and they went, oh, maybe not. Let's just.
There was also a whole scene that was in all the promo that isn't in the film, where Ariana's wearing the tilted pink hat with the pink dress with the green stitching, and that got cut. And then people were saying the poor girlies behind her. It was all these 11, 12-year-old girls that were clearly cast in that scene. Imagine hearing from the editing team.
Absolutely cut. You know what I loved? Obviously, this film has so many added moments, as predicted. So many moments that added scenes, padded out vocal bits, padded scenes between bits and pieces. I did love the throwbacks that we got to Glinda as a little girl.
Same.
And
Same.
then
I thought she was beautiful as well.
Yeah, and so well cast. I was like, you really do look like you really
a mini
do
Ariana.
Look like her. Yeah. She goes I want to be magic. That's all she wants to do. And then her mum goes, but everyone likes you. That's all you'll ever need. And I was like, oh, this is such beautiful, gorgeous. Of course, very on the nose, but beautiful, gorgeous, storytelling, thickening for us of
did you
Glinda,
feel
that because in the musical you know that she wants to be magic and then she wants to learn magic from Madame Marble, but you don't really get the sense that it's actually all she's ever wanted. And that's what Elphaba represents to her.
Yeah. Did you find as well, because people were saying that Wicked Part 1 is Elphaba heavy and then Wicked Part 2 is Glinda heavy. Did you feel that in the film?
Yeah. Oh, that was my hot take. That's what I was going to say. I actually liked Ariana Grande's acting more than I liked her singing.
Interesting. I thought her acting was pretty good too.
Her acting was really, really solid.
She had a lot of high stakes moments, and the scene when she's in the wedding dress and she's crying, that hit me as well.
Oh, my take on that, Andrew.
What?
The wedding dress look.
It's modern.
I just don't buy that is what Glinda's wedding look would be.
Just the bodycon strapless dress.
Yeah, the bodycon strapless. I was pretty gagged at that.
That's true. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, I was obsessed with the headpiece that she had. She looked so beautiful. The headpiece
so
and
gorgeous.
The headpiece and the jewelry was so beautiful. I went, there is no way that her dress would be that simple. It would be so much more.
Yeah, it was still watching part 2. I was like, God, this is such a visually stunning film.
Visual feast.
I had it in my hot take on TikTok as well that I think what's unfortunate is I think the whole musical only really makes 1.5 films, if that. And what I actually think they should have done, they're not going to do it because it's going to make them more money. And I understand splitting it in 2 to protect the integrity of the film is, I think they could have just made a film that went for 3 hours and 20 minutes and have everyone view it. But maybe that's just not how it works. But could you imagine leaving the cinema, having part 1 still been in your bones, getting part 2, getting for good, seeing the end credits? People would leave going, I've genuinely been changed, excuse the pun, for good. I think coming back for part 2, it felt like it had this energy of I'm like, all right, let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah,
you know?
I know what you mean. I can't believe we haven't talked about it yet. No Good Deed.
What are you going to say?
Did you like absolute highlight for me? Of
sorry. I thought you were about to go in and critique it, which I was so fine to. No, I agree. It was unbelievable. No Good Deed was fantastic. You know what's a bit of a shame though is when I was watching it, I had the highest expectations in the world because up until that point in part 2, I hadn't felt nourished yet. So I was sitting there going, this better be spellbinding. And that's an unfair kind of assumption to have
I know what you mean.
About a part in a film.
I said to Sarah when we walked out, I was craving almost that whole time more music.
Same.
I was like, where are they? Yeah, by the time it got to No Good Deed, I so agree. I was like, let's fucking go. I was like, I feel like I haven't heard anyone sing yet.
No.
All we've had so far is shit Michelle Yeoh going, like some terrible green blizzard, through what land she flies. We've had Michelle Yeoh do that. Fucking Jeff Goldblum go, wonderful, like tiny wonderful.
Look at that girl in the bubble.
Yeah, and
that bubble to pop.
And then I was like, give me some vocals.
Do you know what happened? in the bubble bit. No,
what?
You know what happened in Girl in the Bubble is unfortunately it became Sibeliusified, and the second she started singing it, I was like, I can see this notated in 6/8/34. You can confirm, Amos.
Fucking No Place Like Place Like Home. I was like,
that is absolutely
learn to riff beginner riffing 101 MT AMEB book. No, to get vocally nerdy about it for a second. I love, obviously, if you're in music theatre in any way, shape or form, your TikTok For You page is filled with compilations of the Fierro riff in No Good Deed, which is, if you don't know, it's that moment in No Good Deed when she goes, Nessa, Dr. Dillamond, Fierro, and like what you do there. And I love how simple she kept it.
I agree.
Like, because you know that she could have riffed the house down and done like some like crazy thing. I love the original that she pretty much went like, Fierro! Like, and that was just it.
Yes.
And then she riffed the house down at the at the end. And I was
the No Good Deed Will I Do that bit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think she does something like that. It was fucking unreal.
Would be really interesting.
No, go. Oh no, go, darling.
I was just gonna say it would be very interesting to know, and if you are a rat that listens to our pod and actually doesn't know the stage musical, nor doesn't listen to the soundtrack, or is a bit less involved, how you found watching part 2, because we're all going there with like I felt like I went in with the hungriest stomach, being like, fill it. And I left feeling like I had an entree and half a main.
Totally.
But I can imagine if you hadn't seen the musical going, holy shit, those were some cool songs.
Yep.
Because then I sat
you're so right. I'd love to hear.
Yeah. And got listening to Girl in the Bubble and No Place Like Home. I'm like, well, wait a minute, because I'm like, there's songs that are a bit more simple, like I'm Not That Girl. And that hits because we know it. And I'm like, no, but I'm Not That Girl is written so much more sophisticatedly than Girl in the Bubble.
Agree. It all felt
juvenile.
Rushed. It felt like Stephen Schwartz went, oh, fuck, yeah, I forgot they asked me to write that. All right, got to punch it out. Like, it didn't... The lyrics, I'm like...
Safe and juvenile.
Yeah, agree.
What would you say?
Else absolutely ate the house down?
Oh, The Wiz.
Jonathan Bailey, Samantha.
Oh, Jonathan Bailey. Yeah, I think that's fair. He was terrific.
He was absolutely spectacular in this film.
Yeah, he was really, really strong. And he has a lot more moments, I think, in Act 2, acting-wise as well.
Yeah. Everyone's been saying on TikTok he's such a good like actor with his eyes. Couldn't agree more. He's fantastic. That like so the way that he looks in that I would even go as far as to say, because remember my famous take from part 1 was I went, God, I'm so gay, I don't get it. Jonathan Bailey, blah, blah, blah. Part 2, I went, I'd go him. I'd let him.
Yeah, he's hot. And he's also hot the way he rocks up in a random T-shirt and jeans to some Sydney screening and goes, g'day guys, I'm just a rough and tumble guy. I'm like, come on, Hamish and Andy, but American. Like, he's so larrikin. He's so larrikin.
Vocal on As Long As You're Mine. I was like, I had the thing where I like was pushed back in my seat, you know, our fave, where I went,
yes.
When
leg squeeze.
He really like sung it. And again, because by that point I was like, where are my MT sounds? And he went, don't worry, Melly, I gotcha. Here it is. Yep. Here it is.
Because what's he from? I don't know his like.
So he's like an old MT boy. So which again, that's why you do it. There's this really famous video of him on the internet, which rats, if you're a like MT nerd and you haven't seen it, you must. It's him like doing, I think he's performing in some workshop or masterclass. He's doing this song from the last 5 years, and it is an acting through song masterclass. He's phenomenal. But his big thing that everyone knows him from is Bridgerton.
That's right. I knew him from somewhere.
Yeah.
True.
So that's like where everyone's like, oh my God, it's him. Yeah. Something else that I thought was absolutely divine was the I'm Not That Girl reprise.
Same. I loved that. Because Act 2 needs more songs. It needs more songs.
And again, Ari's acting, I was like, hell fucking yeah, I'm super locked in.
People are saying as well that well, all the Ariana fans said that the scene when she's in the wedding dress and she's crying links up to the same day she signed her divorce papers from Dalton. So I feel like it was like extra charged when she was breaking up with her old ex. Yeah, on the same day that she was signing the divorce papers, she was filming that scene. And I'm like, hey, take what you know and apply it to song.
Whatever it takes.
But I don't know if you did the same. After watching part 2, I went home with the gang and we watched One Wonderful Night. And that was spellbinding. The live Wicked concert.
Oh, They've done a live concert. I haven't seen that yet.
And that, to anyone that's watched part 2 and is feeling a bit hungry, that hits you in the face because you've got the ensemble in the back. You've got a full orchestra. You've got them with in-ears. You have a few moments where a few things are out of time and I'm like, let's get those in-ears a bit accurate, guys. But it was terrific. And what you could tell in One Wonderful Night, I was like, oh, this is a cast that are coming back to sing songs from a film that changed them months and months on, because it was filmed quite recently. It was filmed and you can just feel it's the energy of, like, I had a thermal camera. The entire room would have been red with passion. It was fucking terrific. It was so terrific. So much so.
That's a great rec.
We were watching it and I was so like spellbound, if you will, and it, like, because we were watching on 7+, it would go to the ad breaks and I was like, you know, they just finished One Short Day and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then I hear, these two feel pretty stoked right now. And it's my ad. And I literally, the voiceover that I did for that government safe sex ad.
No way.
And to the point where I was literally so in it that I was like, God, that voice sounds familiar. And then I went,
didn't even clock it.
Wait a minute, that's me. But it's such a good watch. You have to watch it. Dare I say your homework for tonight? I
love that. I will absolutely go and do that. I want to talk about a few other little just like tidbits that I loved / was interested by in the film. Found it so fascinating how in the start of As Long As You're Mine, they had Cynthia Erivo not like singing it to Fiyero. Did you clock that?
I didn't even clock this, so please.
Yeah. So like in the musical, it's very like how does it start? It's like, kiss me too fiercely, hold me too tight. And it's very like they're holding hands, they're on stage. She's like holding his face, being like, kiss me too fiercely, like saying it to him.
Yep.
And in this, and in the film, they had her like walking around her like sex cabin in the woods.
Sex cabin with her shawl.
In her shawl. Which, side note, did you know that you can rent on Airbnb? Capitalism has gone crazy.
That we don't need to do that.
You can live in Alphabet's cabin in the woods for like $1 million a night or something.
No, because it shouldn't have been built to be practical for Airbnb guests. It should be built for woodland creatures and fake green woman. What are you doing?
Well, yes.
No.
Oh my God. Wait, extra side note. I loved the sex cardigan. I went, Elphaba would fuck in that.
No, 100%. It's more people are just calling it the sex cardigan, and I think that's hilarious. In the same way people are saying Dorothy in that scene when Elphaba and Glinda are singing Wicked for Good and she's just in the basement going...
memes of her being like, what the fuck is going on?
What's going on?
Anyway,
back to the PhD.
Start of As Long As You're Mine. They had Elphaba like walking around the cabin kind of saying, looking at Jonathan Bailey, but like from afar. So like not saying the words to him, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. But which I just found interesting. It was done like very differently from the musical, and then they finally bring them together. I loved how they she like flies with him, like holds him and they're flying. I loved that. I loved As Long As You're Mine.
Same. As Long As You're Mine and No Good Deed and For Good were giving me what part 1 gave. The start. See, this is the thing. I totally hear what you're saying. You're like, I loved the way it started with them building the yellow brick road. I think part of me was ready for some kind of like opening, and then it was just like you're in the action. You can hear the folly of just like creatures and chains and wheels, and I'm going, oh shit. All I can hear right now is my cinema. I did have the cutest girl behind me every 4 seconds. Is that her hat? Who's that? Did she die? Is that the prince? And I'm going, girl, give us that running commentary, because honestly,
come on.
It's getting a bit boring.
What else did I'm going to have a look at my notes. Hold on.
No, please. I took absolutely no notes. I'm just here for vibes.
No, as you should. What about I loved the start of, I feel like I've hardly spoken about Cynthia Erivo, actually. I thought she was fucking fantastic.
I think it's because she just did her job and it's kind of like dark horse energy. Just doing it.
Yeah.
Not doing too much more.
Yeah.
And being terrific.
We have to talk about the end quite a bit. I feel like there's things to launch into. / I had a like, not plot hole, but like question, which is this. Why? So when Ariana Grande's, when Glinda gets trapped behind the door.
Ariana Grande, we're calling them by their real names because they've morphed. Unfortunately. Unfortunate. Go.
That's so fucking true. You made such a good point with that. I think that's so fucking true. And it's hard with that argument as well because I do often go, what makes a lot of performances so beautiful is when people are just being themselves, but themselves in the character. But I agree, it's totally gone too far. No, when Glinda is stuck behind the door at the end of For Good, we know that they're going their separate ways. She knows that she's about to surrender herself, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Why does Glinda believe... Because Glinda sees the water get thrown and then she sees Elphaba melting, right?
Yep. Glinda
knows that water would not melt her.
Does she? I don't even know that.
Yes, because in the I've heard her soul is so unclean, pure water could melt her. What? Melt her?
People are so empty-headed.
And then Fiora goes, people are so empty-headed. Like Fiora like pulls Glinda aside and goes, oh my God, like listen to what they're saying. People are so empty-headed, they believe anything. And she goes, I know, but like, what do you want me to do? Like she knows that water doesn't melt her. And then when she sees water get thrown on, she melts. She believes it. And I thought that was a plot hole and I didn't get it.
That's very interesting. I can't give you any extra things to that because I don't know. But thanks for bringing it up. Bring up some more.
Guys, if you're a wicked nerd and know the answer to that question, please let me know. Because I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No, that makes
sense. That she would believe that she would die.
Because she thinks by the end of the film that Elphaba is dead, right?
Yes, that's the whole thing. And that's what makes it so heartbreaking. But Sarah said the same thing. Sarah was like, whoa. This is the whole thing. This is the thing that's up for interpretation, which is the ending. The opening of the Grimoire.
Yes. Oh, yeah, people are saying that,
there are lots of different kind of interpretations. So the opening of the Grimoire at the end, some people believe and kind of interpret that that's Elphaba sending her a message to say, I'm okay and I'm here. Yeah. Other people believe that it's Elphaba opening the Grimoire for Glinda to take over the power and learn to read the Grimoire herself and like step into her own powers.
I got from it that it was the first one.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah,
what did I?
What did I think? I actually think I was like a bit like, oh my God, wait, what does that mean? I think I was more like that because I don't believe, now I'm happy to be proven wrong, I don't know if that happens in the musical.
I can't.
In the OG.
I don't know.
Because I saw this fantastic TikTok that is going to explain what I'm trying to say so much better. So I will try to link his TikTok in the notes. I saw this fantastic TikTok, Sam, that was about like, it was him going, I feel like one certain interpretation of this ending takes away from what Wicked is literally entirely and thematically all about. And he was saying, and I do agree with him, the interpretation where in the end Glinda does get powers and uses the power for good.
For good, yep.
Literally like takes away from the meaning of the film, which is the entire film. What we see is that Elphaba has this thing about her that is different and special and magical, and she actually has magical powers
that Glinda will never have,
and Glinda doesn't.
Yeah,
and that is the whole like. But Glinda is the person who has been put in power by this system that values everything that Glinda's about, which is like imagery, being popular, being liked, being charismatic. And that if in the end she actually gets her powers, it takes away from the power of we're meant to be heartbroken, and we are at the end, at the fact that Elphaba and Glinda thinks Elphaba is dead.
Yeah.
Forever. That is what is so heartbreaking. Glinda thinks that Elphaba is dead, and Elphaba and Fiora have left the world forever because of this system that is so broken. That line, I did love that line that was like, I love the line that's like, I have to go, I have to be, when she's like, I don't want you to try and change my reputation or like tell everyone that I wasn't wicked. And then Glinda goes, why? And she goes, because someone has to be wicked so that you can be good.
Can be good.
Oh,
yeah, that bit.
And I'm like, that's the pinnacle of the film. It's like, so then for Glinda to just also have powers at the end, I'm like, I don't love that version.
No, I agree.
Interpretation. Does that make sense?
It does. Even if it comes from, because the world is magical and you can kind of convince the audience of anything within the world if you do it right. Even if it's meant to be that Elphaba's powerful enough to pass the power on to Glinda, it still isn't a good enough payoff or a good enough reason. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I'll be very interested. I looked at it the other day. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes isn't everything, but Wicked Part 1 was rating around 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. Wicked Part 2 was on like 69. It keeps kind of fluctuating, but I'll be very interested once more if the general public and not just theatre kids see it, how it goes.
I'm fascinated too.
Money and like making money isn't the only measure of success within a film. We know that, but it's the number one movie in the world currently. Like they've just released that as a start, which is just absolutely staggering. I just can't help but think if you're going to touch something so deep and so powerful and so monumental, I really could have had it in one fat viewing that kind of stands on its own 2 feet as like what a bold
like almost
choice.
As like an epic saga type
as an
film.
Epic saga where you go along, you take your friends, you know you're leaning in because there's a market for it, but I know that probably the reason they did it, is to protect the making of the story and to protect, like what Stephen Schwartz created. But I'm like, not just Stephen Schwartz, who's the writer? I don't even know. But
I know what you mean.
I don't know. I feel like it was 1.5 films and they tried to make it 2. Yeah. And it's a shame. But
no, I hear that 1,000,000%. I think there's casting things and performance things that could have made this a way stronger film.
I agree.
And I think that's a shame. Here's my hot take. I don't even go as far as to being like they shouldn't have cast Ariana Grande. I think cast her, but don't let her do Ariana Grande.
Well, it's interesting that they did. Because she has, the thing, I totally hear what you're saying. What felt a bit disappointing, I was like, hold on a minute. She's been saying since the start, like the second auditions opened, I was in classical singing lessons. I was with an acting coach every day. I said, so you've got you're like 85% there. And she proved in Act 1 that she could do it. So then when she was poppifying it makes me think that on set, they were like, let's give it a bit of you. This is your real moment. 100%. And that's when I worry that the Ariana's morphing into the Glinda. And that's
100% agree.
Yeah.
I actually wrote in my notes, I wonder if there was some, because everything is clearly considered and a choice. And I just think that maybe this wasn't the right choice. But I think that they absolutely had some like artist conversation around a table or on set somewhere that went, maybe when we see Glinda's truest thoughts, which is in Thank Goodness, in that verse in Thank Goodness, the famous one, that maybe the sound we hear in your voice is more like Ariana's true sound because that's like the most vulnerable, the truest version.
Yeah.
And I think that it's probably come from there, but unfortunately it just hasn't worked for me. And there were other things she does in the film that is spectacular. I love at the end I was like,
I love that bit too.
Give me more of that. However, I will say, final hot take, those really, those legit in inverted commas vocals at the end of Girl in the Bubble didn't get me and didn't blow me away, and I didn't love them either.
No, neither. Because the song was a patter song that you teach in AMEB singing for leisure.
Sibelius
grade 4. I can hear the backing track.
I've
I
just
can
got to
hear
stop. Time for that girl's bubble to pop. Come on.
It was giving kids film in that moment.
Still a remarkable story about female friendship. I was still moved. I still loved it. I just walked out going, yeah, it was good. It wasn't
Here's
fantastic.
my question.
It wasn't life-changing.
Here's my question to you.
Will
Andrew. You go again to the cinema?
You know, I don't know if I will.
And that's just it. Whereas part one, I went, I need to see this with Mel almost immediately.
Yeah,
we need to go again.
I saw it 3 times.
Yeah, I saw it 3 times too. One time on the plane, and I went, this is too good for the sky. I'm about to lose my mind. I am defying gravity. I'm dead.
Fuck, that's so true. Yeah, maybe I'll go see it with you when I'm back.
I would love that. Also, go watch One Wonderful Night. I had just a beautiful time. It's carols by candlelight, but wicked. It was just beautiful.
Love that.
It was so beautiful. Also,
lots to love.
Yeah, no,
sorry, darling. No, go.
The final thing I was going to say is I find it so funny how integral, and I mean it makes sense because he's just so famous and so charming and adds such like gorgeousness to the film. But Bowen Yang truly has like no lines in part 2. And he really do be sitting down on the casting couch with all of them like he's got as many scenes. I'm like, Bubby, I think you have about 4 lines in the script, but hey, he's a charming bubble lug.
Old mate, the other like the blonde girl who's the other like friend as well. I'm oh god, that's just devastating being next to Bowen Yang. I thought that in the first film, being next to Bowen Yang. God bless her, she does almost nothing in that first film. And then in the second one, I'm like, oh god, that's even worse.
I also had one question. Do you think that if you were in the makeup chair, if you were a makeup artist and they went, so well done, you'll be doing makeup for Dorothy. Do you reckon you feel gypped? Because I can imagine the junior makeup artist is sitting there, but there's some psychological stuff they have to do and going, we're going to put a lash on you. We're going to put a lip on you. Because if they sent her out on a bare face, she would feel, it's all, I just couldn't help but think that.
That's so
Dorothy's
good. I
makeup.
do love how they did all of the Dorothy stuff. I thought they nailed all of that.
Same. I was a bit of a sticky beak though. Every time she like turned a corner, I'm like, face. I wanted to see her so bad. Oh dear, guys, we've covered that's the episode. We can't talk about anything more because that just is what it is.
Can you please, guys, rats, please put your thoughts in the comments once you have seen this film. I want the comment section to be filled with discourse. Or DM us, whatever you want to do. Let us know if you disagree with anything you've said. Let us know if you just agree hardcore. I would love to know because I do want to know what the general kind of consensus is.
Totally.
I was really well behaved and a very good girl, and I did not see I was skipping everything on TikTok, every bit of discourse. So all of this is just my thoughts, fully honestly. I don't know if this is the general consensus.
No, well, that's hot. That's a fantastic way to do it. And now you can actually go watch One Wonderful Night because I deliberately waited until after the film. It's pretty amazing. And it's Jeff Goldblum. Is that his name?
I love him. Yeah.
It's him just being an absolute larrikin in his little Miu Miu bomber jacket, just making 500 little jokes. And he is
I also thought he was fantastic in the film.
He's a sublime jazz musician. He accompanies Cynthia as she does, I think, The Wizard and I, but they've added all these like new chords and he's sitting there with that like jazz face as he plays them.
Cute.
And I'm like, I love the arts. Music theatre is everything.
He was really funny. I was like, he was really funny in part 2, I thought.
He was, because I think he's just being a bit of a larrikin.
Yeah,
I think he was being
laughed
himself.
out loud. I was like, I was almost always at Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. Wow.
That's it. Andrew?
That's a wrap food on the road. Doesn't matter where you are.
Sure
Vietnam, Melbourne.
And it's a bit of a long one. We've almost gone for an hour on that, but as we fucking should.
As we fucking should. I love you so much.
I love you so much more.
We will see you on Monday for another rat bag, and this next rat bag is a guest episode, and it's fucking awesome. We cannot wait.
The one I think it is.
It is absolutely the one you think it is.
Oh, guys.
So get ready, rats.
We have Esme Louise James on the episode of Monday. On the episode of Monday? Bye.
You can say that. You're on holiday. Fuck it.
Say that. This episode, strong week from us. Big Wicked Unpack and then the Esme episode. Esme's episode is incredible. You will all be obsessed with her by the end of it. All right, we'll see you then.
It's life-changing. All right, see you then, rats.
Love you so much.
Bye.
This is a Grouse House podcast. Mel and Sam would like to acknowledge that this podcast was created and recorded on stolen land.
The original custodians of this land have had a rich history of storytelling for over 65,000 years, and we pay our respects to the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, whose land we are making Ratbag on.
Treaties were never signed, sovereignty was never ceded, always was and always will be Aboriginal land.